pee stories.
I understand that by the end of this video, you're going to wonder just how traumatized I was as a child to have this many pee stories to give to you. Yes. Short answer, I was traumatized, and here's why.
Very nasty. Sanaflash contains a powerful chlorine release system that deodorizes and fights stain buildup for up to 4 months. So you won't have to clean as often. Sanaflush, it takes the beast out of your bowl.
Just as I... Mind you, my babysitter's toilet looked just like that one.
I've had it with you. You better give me that baby. Give it to me, or the next time you sit on me, I'm gonna bite off your tushy.
Look Who's Talking comes out, and then that one. But I found it kind of funny, but I was back to second guessing myself, especially at the fact that my babysitter's toilet had the exact same blue hair on. I was like, oh my God, what if that's the one? So that commercial traumatized me as a kid. Just that gnarling face. And then that final howl at the end, like, ooh! I used to hear that in my head, trying to go to sleep, scared to death to go to the bathroom. And of course, as soon as I kind of get over my fear of toilets, my sister falls in our parents' toilet, and I'm going to speed up the crescendo getting up to that point. Here's the story.
My sister and I were swimming in the pool. My dad's master bedroom had access to said pool. Now, my dad, he would leave the seat up. So my sister and I get out of the pool. Now, you know when you get out of the pool, you sit on the toilet, you're kind of slippery. My sister's younger than I am, hence smaller than I am. She sits on the toilet with no seat, no less, slips into it. There's her arms, there's her legs. That sealed it for me. I'm freaking out to the point where I actually thought my parents didn't love me enough to care because they were laughing so hard at my traumatic reaction. Like, I couldn't even talk. It was like my worst fear came to fruition. I'm watching my own blood get sucked down the toilet. My father swears that her elbow hit the flusher, so I'm trying to get Dad. My dad, he couldn't even get the video camera. He was laughing so hard because that's what he wanted to do. So he's laughing hysterically. Run into the kitchen. I'm like, Mom! And Mom's like, what? I'm like, Jesus, toilet! She fell in the toilet! So I'm freaking the freak out, and she's laughing. So she runs and she sees Candace sitting there with her legs sticking out, like, and Dad swears that she was crying. I don't remember that much. I think maybe by my reaction, she might have cried a little bit. She's like, oh, something must be wrong if my older sister's freaking out at the fact that I'm being sucked down the toilet. So that sealed it for me. And then as soon as I get over it a little bit, Look Who's Talking comes out. My fate in my childhood was to fear toilets.
I peed on the boat, and this is when I was extremely scared of toilets. Now, I was so afraid of them that whenever we traveled, if the toilet didn't have a lid on it to keep it closed, my mother would have to put a towel over. Remember the toilets in hotels back then? They just had the seat that was like, there's like that hole in the middle, it's just a seat like that, but there's no lid. Yeah, so my mom would have to go in the bathroom first, and I remember everywhere we go, I had to inspect the bathroom. So she had to put a towel over the bathroom just so I could go in and take the bath for a night. And my mom had to carry my little kitty potty everywhere we went. Well, my mom forgets this kitty potty going onto the boat. I refused to go onto the boat toilet because the boat toilet was blue, which looked like the commercial. So what do? I'm holding it. My mom says, why don't I just dip you in the water? I was afraid because I couldn't swim, that she would just let go of me and I would just...
Okay, there you go. Whoopsie! Oh, there she goes. Bye!
So I'm sitting there crossing my leg. Now we're still like clear in the middle of the bay. And I ended up peeing. Now the seats were not leather, they were cloth. I peed all over them, and my poor parents, well, they dipped me in the water anyway at that point, whether I liked it or not. Okay, pretend this is my dad. Pretend this is me. No, what are you doing? I'm dipping you in the pool. Let's go. You're lucky I love you. To get the pee off my pants. And then they had to sit there and shampoo and scrub this cushion because I let it rip. At said babysitter's house. She had 2 bathrooms. The blue one I was scared of, but I'm not as scared as the other one because the other one kind of looked like the previous commercials. So, I'm sitting on her computer desk, like sitting on the desk itself, playing Frogger because she had the computer turned towards me. So she's doing her thing at her desk, studying or whatever. So I peed, okay? She didn't realize it right away. So I peed on her computer desk. The pee went underneath the computer tower, the thing, the keyboard, everything. So she freaks out at me. She makes me sit on this toilet for 5 minutes, the blue one. And I forced whatever pee I had left out. I was like, okay, I'm done. She's like, nope, you're going to sit there. Felt like forever. In my mind, further traumatized me even more. Yeah, my babysitter didn't really help the situation with that. My parents used to go traveling again. They had to carry this kitty potty everywhere we went. So we go on vacation. We rented a van because it's my brother. Everybody's in the car. Long story short, she cannot get the kitty potty out so I can go to the bathroom. I had to pee on this trip. So I'm sitting between my parents on the bench seat and I'm holding it. They're like, can we just wait until I take the next exit? Well, there was no time left. So I peed so much. I don't know. I have a lot in me. Both of my parents, all three of us went into this hotel. My parents had wet butts. I had a wet butt. I'm pretty sure most people guess where the pee came from. It was me. It was me.
It was me!
Peeing on C Street. I'm gonna need 2 props for this story. All right, pretend this is my front door. Pretend this is the steep driveway going to the street. I'm gonna show you a picture because it's kind of funny the way my house was when I lived on C Street. If I can get it, here we go. All right, can you see? All right, here's the house. Doesn't really actually look like this, but this is just for reference. This is the steep driveway. My father's car could barely fit on. There's the street here. This is where my butt is hanging off into the driveway. Now, typically, I would wait to come home to go to the bathroom because I felt like the bathrooms were disgusting at school. So normally I would hold it and I would make it to the point where I get home. Well, in this case, I didn't have enough time. So here I am running to the house. And as I get closer, knowing that the toilet's just on the other side of that door, the urge is insatiable. So I'm sitting here like this. Okay? So I can't get in, and like when you have to pee so bad that you bargain with yourself? It's like bargaining with the government. Maybe if I just squeak out a little, it'll stop. Nope, it will take the full mile. So here I am, I'm like, oh. So I let out a little bit, I'm like, oh crap, it's not stopping. And I was like, well, might as well finish. So here I am peeing while I'm trying to get the door open. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to still pee on my floor in the house. So I kind of finish, only to realize, I should say, that there's a 4-story house across the street that's these guys. I always go, tss, I feel like a sprinkler. Anyways, back to the story. So these guys are screaming from the rooftop or the balcony, oh my God, she's wetting herself, look! And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not even gonna look. So I finally get the door open, run into the house. Now, how did they know I was wetting myself? Well, because I'm peeing and it's a steep driveway, there comes this stream of pee that puddles into the street. Okay, so evidence would tell you that, or follow the water, right? It led right back to the source. So they knew it was me. It was me! We lived on this house, another one down the shore. This one takes the cake from all of my pee stories. So I'm living at this place. I'm upstairs from my friend. We're outside playing in the mud. Because we were covered in mud, her mother would not let me use the bathroom downstairs. So I had to go upstairs and use my bathroom. All right? So the bathroom's clear at the end of the hall. My father's bedroom's here, linen closet here. All right. The door's closed, but it doesn't look like it because of the shadow that the TV casts from the other room is over the door. So it looks like a black hole in the wall. So Anthony's sitting with my dad because he doesn't like being alone at night. He's watching Cartoon Network, and from his perspective, he's freaking out because all he hears is this loud bang from downstairs, and then the boom, 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 boom. Me running up 4 stairs at a time, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 down this hallway, and then down towards him. So he's like, oh, guys. So he's picturing like this evil monster coming down there, only to find that it's just me running full speed. Law of physics, hitting a solid object, stops me in my tracks. Boom! So I'm flat against the door. Dad jumps up. He goes, "What was it? What? Oh!" So Anthony realizes that it's me. He's hysterically laughing. I'm unconscious for about 10 seconds. I wake up flat on my back. Anthony's standing over me, pissing himself, laughing at me. Because I had to pee so bad that I didn't even see that the door was closed. I thought it was open. And can I tell you something? When you're running full speed, you don't know it hits you, and this invisible object stops you in your tracks, literally. I stay at a friend's house, okay? We're drinking soda. We're drinking Kool-Aid. We're drinking this. We're just drinking and snacking all night long, watching TV, all right? She's got plenty of bathrooms in the house, so there's no excuse why I would pee myself, but I'd be like a good girl, peed before I go to bed. Well, I had to pee again in the middle of the night, but because we were up so late and Sugar crashed, I slept through it. She's sleeping on the top bunk. I'm sleeping on the bottom. I just, you know, when you're laying down sleeping and peeing, it's like the best pee of your life. Only to wake up and be like, oh, shit. I'm at my friend's house, no less, and this happened. Now, I don't pee myself while I'm sleeping. I don't wet the bed. That was the first time. And of course, I'm at a friend's house when this happened, so I'm buku embarrassed. And this is my friend's perspective because she's on the top bunk. This is all she sees. Jessica, I peed. So now we take all the blankets, everything. Her father's on the computer right down the stairs. So like you come down from upstairs, he's right there. So I'm like, oh great, he's right there. So he's gonna be like, well, why are you guys carrying all these blankets and sheets to the laundry room? So we had to sit there. How he didn't turn around and look. I mean, God was with me. He created a blind for us. I'm blessed. So here we are, sneaking the blankets, threw it in the wash, and then walked away like nothing happened. Of course, thank God I had an extra set of clothes so that I could go ahead and change out of it and dispose of the evidence the best way I could. So that was probably one of the most embarrassing pees of my life, in my school age life. Road trips apparently are not my friend. So my dad is driving us all over the state of New Jersey. We had just recently moved back up here from Florida. And his friend takes us out for dinner. So we had to go down, pick his friend up, run a couple errands, and then stop at this place to eat. Meanwhile, because we're going to all these public places, I'm just trying to hold it. So I told my father, hey, I really got to go. And Dad's like, can you just hold it for 20 more minutes? Just 20 minutes. All I'm asking, because that's where we're going. That's it. I can't stop again. I keep stopping. Okay. So I'm trying. So he has mercy on me, stops at this gas station. My sister's sleeping, okay? Important detail. She's sleeping. So we finally get to this gas station. I'm like, oh my God, you know, like you just can't get up right away because you have to pee so bad. Well, here's my sister. Just waltzes her way, sleepwalks her way into the gas station. So I busted out. She's like, no, I gotta go. She's already sitting on the toilet. Right? And I'm like, oh my God. So now I'm hearing her pee. And she's like, just go in the bucket. So like, no. I just spread my legs best I could and just peed over the drain in the bathroom. So I didn't make it. My sister was laughing at me because I'm sitting there, oh my God. And just peed. Yeah, she was an asshole for that. Another thing that she did to me, I'm sleeping in my bed. So you know, like when you get up in the morning, you have to pee. So you just kind of like wait for that urge to go away. Then you just leisurely get up, walk to the bathroom and release. Well, she didn't give me the chance to do that. So as soon as I pop my eyes open, she busts in my room, jumps on me. Pretend this is me, laying this way. She jumps on me like this, and she's like, just kicking her legs. And then she's like, I'm like, don't. And she goes like this. It's like kung fu, right there, like right here. I peed my bed while awake. I'm like, God damn it, you hit my pee button. She's hysterical. Tells everyone in the family that she hit my pee button when I got up in the morning. To the point where she herself pees. My poor bed suffered the golden shower of a century. My sister's in the shower, locks the door, so that bathroom is off limits. I do not like peeing in the pool. So I get up out of the pool, run into the house, door's locked. So I'm like, oh crap, I really gotta go. So then I run to my dad's bathroom. My dad's not home, only to find my brother is taking a bath as well with a live duck. A live duck. I don't know how to reenact this. I'll do the best I can. So I'm just like... So Anthony's laughing at me because he's like, look, I got a real duck. It's not a rubber one. So I'm like... So I run. I catch... Because bell bottoms were the thing back then in the early 2000s. I catch my foot. I fall face plant onto my dad's floor and peed. So my brother did that to me because he had a live duck taking a bath with him because he thought it was funny. If you watched my last video, you understand that I was in Kung Fu class. So while I was training in Kung Fu, I used to try to teach my brother and sister how to fight. So now we moved back up to New Jersey from Florida. Again, we went back and forth a couple times during my childhood. So I'm trying to remember everything that I learned when I lived in Florida, Kung Fu class. So I'm teaching my brother how to block. So I was like, listen, if you have a bully, go like this to you guys, like block, now punch me. So he aims at my face, so I block it. He's mad at me because the block hurt his wrist. So then he decides to joke around. I was like, you ready? Now you're gonna block me. So he goes like this. So as I'm going, no, you don't do that, he sucker punches me in the face. You would think me being a trained Kung Fu fighter would have seen it coming. So he gets me in the nose. I slip to the floor because I have my socks on. So I slip on the tile floor. Peed. He's hysterically laughing. And all he sees coming out from my bottom is a puddle of pee. If you watched my last video, you would know that when I worked at this drugstore, I had this weird supervisor that used to make me hang signs up every once in a while. Well, it was really busy. I was the only one at the register. I had to pee so bad. And I asked him a couple times, hey, I really gotta go. I'm at the register like this. You're not allowed to sit. So I'm standing here leaning up against the counter, checking people out, hoping to God they're not asking me for birthday cards. I'd go run and find it for them. So I'm sitting there like, I really gotta go. And this guy obviously sees my legs crossed. I think he just took great pleasure in watching me suffer. So finally, relief comes. Yes. But the person came, she had to go check in, and I'm like, I can't. So then I run to the bathroom. As I'm running, I'm like, you know, like you just work your way to the floor, but by then it's too late. So I'm like, psst. I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. So I've actually managed to hold the rest of it, take it to the bathroom. Mind you, you have to wear these stupid khaki pants with the navy blue shirt, and I had the lightest khaki pants that I own on that day. So you could see the pee there, bright as day. Thank God I had a sweatshirt. So I just tied the sweatshirt up for the rest of the night. Because I'm sitting there with my shirt going like this. It's supposed to be tucked in, but I don't care. So I'm sitting like this, right? Tuck my shirt back in, put my sweatshirt back on. Only to have this weirdo go, I need you to hang this sign up for me. Are you fucking kidding me? So I go up this ladder, and of course he likes to look. He's looking, so I'm like, he's gonna see my pee stain. He's gonna see my pee. So I'm sitting there with my legs crossed, trying to crawl up this ladder. He's like, why are you going up there like that? I was like, I'm really not comfortable with you down there. Now I'm getting really defensive. He goes, what's the big deal? I'm just holding the ladder. I'm like, I don't need you to hold the ladder. He goes, well, I'm responsible if you fall, so I'm gonna hold the ladder. I'm like, no, why don't you go up there and hang the sign? So I go up there, and I'm going up like this. I'm like, at this point, I'd rather you stare at my crotch. So going up backwards, I hang the sign as I'm making perfect eye contact with this guy. He saw that I peed myself, but he didn't say anything, but it was his fault that it happened. I will not assume responsibility for that one. This one's a little later in life. How? Okay. I didn't pee myself per se. I go on vacation. I'm staying at my cousin's house on the mountain. Mind you, my aunt will get up 3, 4, 5 times in the middle of the night to go pee. So I remember it was 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired because I worked the night shift before, hung out all day with them, and then finally conked out by 10 o'clock at night. So 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, come on. So I'm fighting it. So I finally get up. I go to the bathroom. As soon as I see the toilet, that urge hits me, right? Have you ever just flung the toilet seat open, and before you even sit down, you're just like, right? I do this, but I hit the toilet lid so hard, the thing slapped back down. So I felt this, it was the weirdest sensation ever. I'm peeing and then this cold, flat thing hits me right on my undercarriage. I'm like, what's going on? Next thing you know, it's like a sprinkler. I see pee shooting out in all directions around me. Oh, fuck. So then I fling the seat open again, and then I'm sitting and I'm like, crap. So now I'm looking around for paper towels, and thank God there's cleaning solution right there, paper towels. So I'm like, okay, as soon as I'm done, I'm just gonna clean everything down. I was like, watch my aunt get up in the middle of the night having to pee. Sure as hell, that's exactly what happens. So I'm spraying the bathroom down, wiping it, because I'm not gonna have people sitting on my pee. So I'm doing this, and my aunt goes, what are you doing in there? She was like half asleep. I'm like, I'll be right out. I'm all out of breath because I'm jumping around. Anyways, so I'll be right out. So I'm sitting there like, so I'm like going like this, finally get everything wiped up, wipe the toilet seat, and she's like, what took you so long? I was like, I really had to go, and I'm sorry. So I run out of the bathroom, which is like, the only thing that could have made it worse is if she were to knock on the door while I sprinklered the entire bathroom. Okay. I'm a sophomore in high school. I really have to go. But there was this weird classmate who followed me everywhere. She would go in the bathroom and smoke. So I'm downstairs. There's no reason for me to go upstairs to the bathroom. You know how they were back in high school. You had these hall monitors. Of course, it's like a prison system. Why are you upstairs to go to the bathroom? Oh, I didn't want to go downstairs. Why? And I just, it wasn't worth it to me. So I go to the bathroom, see my friend, not my friend, in there. See my friend, not my friend in there. So I close the door. I was like, I can hold it. So I'm in computer class in the library, writing up a report, and I have my black windbreakers on. So I'm like this. All of a sudden, one of my friends goes, I gotta show you something funny. So he pulls, remember the internet back then? So he pulls up this picture. We're laughing so hard. I laughed and I'm like, right? And it was like a hard, I was like, oh. Thank God. A storm breaks out, like bad one, right? The teacher, for some reason, some godly reason, says, you know what, guys? You only got 5 more minutes. Why don't you guys go ahead and leave? Another blessing, there's a door to leave the school right there. And I lived across the street from said school. So now, not only were we allowed to leave, I had easy access to leave the building. And it's torrential downpour. And another bonus was the fact that I'm wearing black, shiny windbreakers. So between the shadows and the lights and everything, you couldn't tell. So I'm like, oh, thank God. So we all get up at once, we leave, and I actually made it unscathed, despite the fact that I peed myself in high school. It's crazy. Okay, I'm 8 years old, or maybe 9. My mom takes us to Disney World. I'm scared to death of Disney as it is, and with good reason now with all the stuff coming out regarding it. Man, I get tongue-tied. So, I have to pee so bad. We're in the middle of Universal Studios or wherever we were, and I have to pee. Or we were at the water park, my bad. So, yeah, I'm like, can we go swimming? Can we do this? Can we do that? And I was like, no, we're done. You're going to dry off because we have to drive later and go get dinner. Okay. So what do? I sit on this fountain and conveniently fall backwards into it so I could pee. So I purposely peed myself to relieve myself in this beautiful fountain. And my mom's screaming at me because I was not supposed to get wet again because I'm supposed to dry off so we can go in the car and go for dinner. So yeah, confessions. My mom probably didn't even know that happened, but yes, I peed. And fortunately, the fountain wasn't blue. It was like this brown water because it was like one of those old looking fountains. This one's not at my expense, finally. So my mom's friend owns a bar. We're going down the shore before we moved to Pennsylvania, and she treats my mom to dinner and drinks, and then we ate as kids. My brother has to pee so bad. Now, mind you, he's 4 years old. So my mom rushes this kid to the bathroom while my mom's friend's watching over us, and all I hear from outside is, no, oh my God, no, stop it. So I'm like, okay. My mom, she comes out soaking wet because she's washing herself off with my brother's soaking wet. I'm like, my brother loses control of his thing because he had to pee so bad. So mom's like, aim, and he can't because he had to go so bad. I guess, I don't know, it went off like a hose, like a cartoon hose. So he's pee all over the walls, pee all over the sink, pee all over my mom, pee all over him. He even got the ceiling apparently. So yeah, and the more he peed, the more he laughed, and the more he laughed, the more he peed, and it was a vicious cycle. To this day, that is a cherished story shared amongst family when we're talking about peeing. This one happened while I'm working. So we were short-staffed. Of course, this is like the case every single time. Okay. So this doctor is very particular that we're working with. So everything has to be just so. Because the scrub tech in the room didn't really know where everything is, we're doing minor case, major case. Okay. But he's so fast. I'm like, okay, we'll get done with this one within 20 minutes. So I'm like, and my stress is this high. Let me just get everything set up. And sure enough, he's ready to go. So I'm like, all right, I'll just hold it through this case. Well, it didn't take 20 minutes. It took a freaking hour. So I'm sitting there. I'm sitting there assisting in the case. And I'm like, come on. And it's like one of those procedures where, you either get it in or you don't. So wrong. And I'm watching it on the x-ray like miss. And I'm like, oh no. Miss. Oh! So I pit a little. I was like, Doc, you mind if I step out real quick and hit the ladies' room like it's an emergency? He goes, all right, but I need you right back. Thank you. So fortunately, the anesthesia room's right there. So I hit the ladies' room in the anesthesia room, peed, realized that I wet my pants. So I take my underwear off, throw it in the garbage, put on a new pair of pants, clean my legs off, and then went about my day again. Finally, I'm making a speech at my sister's wedding as her maid of honor. So we're drinking, we're having a good time. And because I'm her maid of honor, I can't just step away and pee. They're doing pictures, they're doing this, we're cheersing. And as soon as we go into the venue, I'm like, with the flowers, I'm ready to disappear to go to the bathroom. They're like, okay, now for the speeches. I'm like, that's fast. And next thing you know, I'm looking at this microphone. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to have to hold it. No problem. Typically, I can hold it. If you can believe me, I can hold it. But this is what made me pee myself. So I made a faux pas in my speech, okay? Basically, what I said to my brother-in-law is, I know she will be a great husband, talking about my sister. And I was being very sentimental, and he's like, and my sister goes, I think you meant wife. And I went, oh, everybody's in an uproar. So I'm laughing like, so inside my mind, I'm screaming, pee now or forever hold it in. I literally crouched down and no. So I'm like, stop laughing. I'm like, stop laughing. I got it together. Pee did not go down my leg. None of it hit the floor. Thank God, because I'm in a dress, so it would have just went streamlined down my leg and I would have been screwed. And my sister, after the wedding, she goes, when you crouched down the way you did, she goes, she's like, you remind me of the times when you usually have to pee. I'm like, I did pee. She goes, I knew it. If my sister ever sees this video, she will kill me. This one's at her expense. So she and I used to sneak out behind the school and have a cigarette at night because we were hiding from Dad. All right? So we go to the park. We're sitting on the swings and we're having our cigarettes. And she goes, man, there's something about these parliaments. They always make me have to pee. So I'm like, just hold it out. I was like, just hold yourself against the swing. So she's like, oh man. So all of a sudden I hear, I look over and she's just like this. So I was like, thank God you have your sweatshirt. I was like, you know what? Just wear the sweatshirt on your waist and we'll go home. Remember the last video when I told you about the Shrek screaming at those 4 kids and they scurried like kittens? Well, those same mischievous 4 kids were on their bikes every night. Same thing. So of course, they decided to harass us and be like, hey, did you see my baseball? Did you see my baseball?
Have you seen my baseball? Have you seen my baseball?
And Candace is like, go away, leave me alone. She was scared that one of them was going to grab her sweatshirt and try to run off with it, only to find out that she peed herself. So to this day, if I say,
You see my baseball?
she knows exactly what I'm referencing. This is not a pee story. Okay, last one, I think. I'm living down the shore. I make myself a bowl of macaroni and cheese, and I have apple juice in my hand. So this is what I made when I get out of school. Now, I was extremely thin. I was a size 1. I used to like to wear my sister's pants. She was bigger than I was, but she had these parachute pants. My mom goes, I can't stand seeing you in these damn clown pants. But what I used to do was, because they were so comfortable, it was like wearing a parachute. I used to take the tie from it, right, and put it like this. So this thing could fit around me 3 times. So I would just tie it like this. But even still, they would fall off if I wasn't careful. So I have said macaroni and cheese, apple juice on this side. But I was really cool because I was a kung fu fighter. So I kicked the door open, walked down the stairs, right? My dad's office is off to the side this way. Straight ahead here is yet another sitting room where if I have my friends over, that's usually where we hang out. And then straight ahead's my room. So I was going to go grab my mac and cheese, apple juice, and go to my room and eat and do my homework. So what I would do is, so that my brother's TV wouldn't bother my dad, we would keep the door shut. So what I did was I kicked the door open like this and I close it behind me, only to have the door catch my pants. So as I'm walking down the stairs, the more it plays in my head, the funnier it gets. So anyways, I close the door on my pants and next thing you know, I go flying, okay? I face plant on the floor. My pants are against the door. I'm in my underwear. Law of physics, I don't know how the mac and cheese stayed in the bowl, but the water hits the floor and then goes into my face. So now it's in my eyes. So Dad's like, what happened? What happened? I'm like, don't look. So then I run to the room and Dad's like, what are you talking about? I just saw you fall. What's the matter with you? And I'm like, now I go to the room realizing what happens. I start laughing. So now my dad's laughing. Like, what's wrong with you? He goes, I forget what he calls me. What the hell do you call me? He goes, man, you're a screwball. So I'm laughing. I'm like, crap. So I put what's left of my apple juice, which is literally this much, because I used to have those little 7-ounce cups, put the mac and cheese down, put the cup down, put my clothes back on, and then continue eating. I'm really bad at goodbyes. Anyways, this is take umpteen to the 10th power. I cannot think of any more I said penis. I can't think of any more pee videos at the moment. However, if I think of any further footage, if I can think of any other footage to share with you, I have no pee footage. If I can think of any other pee stories to share with you, I'll be more than happy to sprinkle them in, so to speak, in further videos to share with you. And I hope at some point this video made you laugh or at least smile, because we need more of that in this world. And despite it being at my expense, I'm more than happy to share. I'm just going to say goodbye because I don't know a closing. So I'll catch you next time. Bye. Well, I have a surprise one for today. On my way home today from work, I'm pulling into my development. So on this side of the street, it's a back street. You had the development here. The warehouse over here, development to the left. So here's a truck. And then there's a man standing on the side of the road, facing the bushes behind the truck. I'm like, why is he standing there? To me, it was like a little bit conspicuous, but I'm like, I'm assuming he's a truck driver. But I thought he was just going like this, you know, just, I don't know, dazed and confused or something. Well, as I'm pulling up closer to make my left, I see he's holding something. And what I notice is he's not just going like this. He's writing his name probably in pea in the bushes outside of my development. And it makes sense that the truck is behind him so nobody from the warehouse could see him. And not many people take the back way into my development. So I got front row seats to witness a random guy pissing on my development.